When I was growing up, if you did anything crazy, if you was a boy and you did anything girly, right? Your uncles, your papas would grab you by the neck and say, boy, don't you do that again. If I see you doing that again, I will shake you by your neck. You was like this and look, like, please let me go.
They thought they could beat the game.
Yeah, exactly. They did. They really did. And now
the war continues on gender affirming care. So recently, the Trump administration is rolling out policy that is targeting the medical systems, all of the hospitals and treatment centers that are affirming gender care, transgender care. So this goes with hormone blockers, this is gender affirming surgery, even psychological treatment that pushes pronouns, names, and wardrobe changes that could affect how a person is perceived in society. And Trump is saying anybody under the age of 19 should not be influenced by these evil deeds. And I think that you and everybody watching this channel probably can predict that me and Malik are in 100% agreement with this policy. And this is due to our view of our own children, but the well-being of the youth all across America.
Yeah. I'll take it a step further. This is not just evil. This is demonic.
Absolutely.
Seriously, when you're involving children, underage kids, and you're saying we're allowing you to make a complete change of your identity. A complete change of your identity. This is demonic. Period, point blank. Let's stop with this gray area stuff. We want to make everything sit in the gray area, like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little sugar, a little spice. No, it's black and white. You're a male or you're a female, plain and simple. We need to stop living in the gray area and stop being okay with saying we're okay with living in the gray area or not saying anything when people are in the gray area, because it's simple. There's no male that's kind of a female and kind of a male, or kind of a male, kind of a female. No, you're confusing these kids. Plain and simple, you're a male if you're born biologically a male. You're a female if you're born biologically a female. Plain and simple. If you want to be a 40-year-old man and turn yourself into a woman, we don't agree with it. But by all means, that is your business. But when you involve a 17-year-old boy, a 16-year-old girl, and you allow them to change their identity before they even know who they are. They don't even know what they want to be in life yet. They haven't even chased a career yet. And you're allowing them to go change themselves before they even figure out what they are. Samantha couldn't even figure out who Samantha was before you let her change into Sammy. Little Timmy didn't even know who he was until you let him turn himself into Tabitha. This makes zero sense. It's demonic. It's demonic. I'm gonna go on a rant if you don't stop me.
It's demonic. And Trump is trying to defund these programs and these medical systems. You won't even be able to use, the hospital won't be able to authorize Medicare or Medicaid if you are performing these surgeries or any of these treatments for the youth. And I think that we really have to hone into the sickness, and he calls it a mental disability. You are doing mutations to children and thinking that suffices based on them having some type of gender dysphoria that was honestly implemented into their development, artificially. Most people, not most, when a child is young and it grows into an adult or whatever sex that it is, unless there's some type of disturbance within that growth, they grow to be a man or a woman and desire the opposite sex. This is a biological thing. We are attracted to each other's pheromones. We are biologically inclined to the opposite sex based off the needs of us in our livelihood and our environments. So when you look at why these children, when you look at why these children are experiencing such dysphoria, we find that a lot of homosexual thoughts and a lot of homosexual lifestyles are influenced by pedophilia or some type of manipulation to the child sexually when they're young. This is a statistic that you can look up on your own. And so if you are saying that the origin of these thoughts and the origin of the way that these children want to function in society is from a demonic or sick, disgusting place, and then you promote that as if it's normal instead of asking what's actually happening, I find you to be a ill-fitted parent. As a parent, you are neglectful. And I think that you really need to not only find some good therapy for yourself for trying to live some type of vicariously through your child, but I think you also need to find Jesus Christ. You know what we always say?
Seriously, and doing these things to children, it's leading to what we're seeing in our youth right now. You're starting to see kids. I remember when we were in high school, and we're not even old. I'm 27. When we were in school, you had a dress code. You could not come to school looking any type of way. It does not matter if you had the clothes in your actual wardrobe. If you came to school that way, you was getting sent straight to the nurse's office or getting sent to ISS if you didn't want to go to the nurse's office. That's how we grew up.
That's so odd.
Now we're growing up in an era where the children are going to school, no dress code. Mm-hmm. They're showing up any kind of way. You got hairy 17-year-old boys in shorts shorter than short.
Yeah.
You got 16-year-old girls who got buzz cuts, and the boys is confused on why she got a buzz cut and in the boys' locker room.
Right.
You're confusing the children by allowing these things, by saying, I can't say nothing. No, you need to say something. If you're a teacher, go to the administration and say, this is wrong. I remember I saw a video of a woman that was part of a school district, and she did that. Mm-hmm. She dressed up as a cat and said, call me a cat. Mm-hmm. Call me a cat. Since y'all letting anything happen, I'll come up here, I'm gonna come up dressed up as a kitty cat, lick my little hand and say, meow. And then looked at her like she was crazy. Yeah. That's how you look. You want us to accept something that is demented and a mental illness, period, point blank, because there's something in your brain that went to the right a little bit and you didn't know how to function. Because if I came to you and said, I'm a watermelon, call me a watermelon.
Malik is being funny, but the reality is what you allow, what we're allowing.
Take a step further.
What we're allowing in society are seeds of confusion and deception to be planted.
Demons.
And then once you are at the end of that road, when you open Pandora's box and you find all of these knicknacks, and you find that we are now able to hang the pedophilia flag, or we're able,
pedophilia flag.
Yeah, there's an actual flag for them.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
Boy.
I promise you. And then
burn it if you see it.
And you're also going to start to find normalization and bestiality, and then you are saying, what's happening? Like when God destroyed an entire city based on their sexual immorality, what do you think they were doing? Like, really start to think about it. What do you think that they were doing when God said, if I could just find 10, he couldn't find 10? And you think to yourself, that was because it was a whole bunch of, no, it was a whole bunch of what you're seeing right now.
Exactly.
A whole bunch of confusion and a whole bunch of silent voices that don't call out what they know to be true. So let's take it to the Bible. Y'all know y'all gonna always get took to the Bible. Yep. And this one, I know Malik has his supporting evidence from his biblical text, but this one for me is from a place of love, because although you may be practicing something that I don't agree with, I still want you to understand how God sees you. So Psalms 139, verse 13 through 14, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Mm-hmm. So what this text is saying to you, little girl, little boy, young man, young woman, is that there's no mistake in your identity.
Exactly.
He made you perfect. Mm-hmm. And yes, we all go through puberty and hormones and wanting to and desiring to be like someone or like something else, or even thoughts that are in contradiction to what you know you should be doing. Sinful thoughts, we all have them. But at the end of the day, you don't have to execute those things and do things that are going to be an abomination to yourself. Mm-hmm. So cutting off your stuff, sewing it up, whatever y'all doing, I don't even know how it works. Really consider that these things are irreversible.
Yeah, and what you actually have found is that a lot of them that do get these surgeries, they regret it.
Absolutely.
That's what you're seeing now. You're seeing a lot of people.
Those things ain't publicized.
Exactly. They don't post that though. They don't post that. Yeah. They don't put that on social media and let it go viral. Yeah. The ones that got the surgeries 4, 5, 6 years ago, they coming out now saying, I wish I wouldn't have. And now it's too late. Now your little pee-pee gone. And now your pee-pee gone. You sad. Because you know why you're sad? Because your biology said, I needed my pee-pee.
Yeah.
And this is the truth. I'm being funny, but this is serious. Like, this is beyond just something we're talking about. This is something that was created. There's a reason why a stick can go through a hole, if you know what I mean. There's a reason why. And there's a reason why 2 sticks don't cross. They don't shake each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a reason for that. It's not by accident. It's on purpose. It's purpose. It's purposeful. So doing these things, especially to the children, is downright demonic. And I'm gonna give you my verse. Because, you know, like we said, we always gotta take it biblical.
And while he looks up his verse,
I already got it.
Excuse me.
All right. This is from Deuteronomy 22:5. A woman shall not wear a man's garment, nor shall a man put on a woman's cloak. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God. This implies in gender swapping, exactly what we're talking about. And it's not the surface level you may be thinking about right now is like, well, why can't I look at pink? I like pink. Or why can't I look at blue and like blue? That's surface level. What we are talking about is beyond just wanting to look or admire the opposite sex and say, I like that girls paint their nails. It's beyond that. That's still, demented.
It's the desires of your heart.
It's the desires of your spirit and your heart. The reason why they're telling you to stay away from it. The reason why we're telling you to stay away from it. The reason why God says stay away from it is because your heart will desire something that you cannot return from. And when you can't return from it, that means the demons have a hold of you.
And I like that scripture because it really shows what we were talking about early in the video, which is seeds, right?
Yeah.
So early, again, I don't have any timeline for this, but I do have recollection of when the time where, being a transvestite or a man dressing up as a woman or a stud, whatever.
Drag queen.
Right.
Yeah.
Those things were like a really controversial thing.
Yeah, if you saw that, you was like, what is wrong with him?
You see a man with heels and makeup, you like, like what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And we see as that seed was planted, now it's a nationwide thing for men to completely mutate
Accept me as I am.
But mutate themselves.
Yeah.
Like it started with clothes.
Yeah.
It started with just a little makeup. It ain't harming nobody when he in his room by himself. He just like to put on a little dress, right? It ain't your business, it ain't my business, right?
Yeah.
But then you see how those demented seeds are planted, and then we see it spread.
Yeah.
Sin spreads.
Yeah.
It doesn't just stay in one space and you can conceal it and you can keep it in a tight little box. No. As you dibble and dabble in something, you find it to spread so much that now it becomes a national worry.
Uncontrollable.
Yeah, it's uncontrollable.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking to you about something that 10 years ago would be like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? People under 19, 16, 14 are changing themselves medically.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
That would be crazy.
Yep.
But now it's a conversation that you have, like I always say, a conversation you have over dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
I
remember when I was, like I said, I'm not even old. And when I was growing up,
You gotta make sure y'all know he ain't old.
what I'm saying is because this is how quick it changes.
Right.
You said planting the seed.
Yeah.
This is how quick it changes, right? When I was growing up, if you did anything crazy, if you was a boy and you did anything girly, right? Your uncles, your papas would grab you by the neck and say, boy, don't you do that again. If I see you doing that again, I'm gonna shake you by your neck. You was like this and look, you like, let me go.
They thought they could beat the game.
Yeah, exactly. They did. They really did. And now what you see is, it's like, why you don't, are you a phobic? Are you phobic? It's a phobia for everything now. We're not afraid. We're not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
We're not afraid of anything but God. The reason we have an issue with this is because it's influencing the children. That is the whole reason and the sole purpose of this is influencing children. You have celebrities like Dwayne Wade,
Lil Uzi,
who have little babies. They got 12-year-old kids walking around that you see with a million, 10 million likes. That means the world has seen them in high heels as a 12-year-old kid. This is wrong, completely wrong. And whoever they grandpas are and their uncles are should be ashamed of themselves for not saying anything. I wouldn't care if it was that person over there, if it was his son and his dad right there, and I saw it, I wouldn't sit back and be like, that's their business. No, I'd be like, why would you do that to your son?
You in their business like that?
Yes, especially if it's my family. Like, I'm saying,
do you go to a stranger walking down the street and say something?
No. What I'm saying is, everybody has family,
okay,
right?
Okay, I get
what
you.
I'm saying is, you see your brother doing this to his son, and you sit there and say, my brother crazy.
Yeah.
No, you should say, you is crazy.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
Yeah.
That's what you should be saying.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be sitting back like, I mean, is you still gonna help me with the rent though?
Yeah.
No amount of money is worth changing the innocence of children, and it's not worth changing what we were called to be. Period. Point blank. I don't care if somebody was offering you $1 billion. If they was offering you $1 billion, I wouldn't wear a dress on stage even if you gave me $1 billion for it. Let alone change into a woman. Tripping. Period. Point blank. That's what we need to get back to. Tripping.
Period. Point blank.
Yes. Tripping.
So I wanted to add to the point you made. When you said that there's a lot of likes for these people.
Yes.
Like, and what I have a question for the viewers. Why do y'all, the ones who I'm talking to, if I ain't talking to you, I ain't talking to you, but if I'm talking to you,
I'm talking to you.
Why do you find people online speaking truth, speaking facts? You can go and do the research on your own, but you will deny those people and say that they're demented, they're crazy, they got psychosis, whatever you want to call it. But then you go and support the lady clapping her cheeks in front of the camera so close that you can feel the wind.
With her son in the background.
And you like that girl, do you? You see the comments on these obscene, asinine videos. And you see the support. You see a child who's 10, 300 pounds. So cute. They could die. You see a young boy struggling with his masculinity and painting his nails and installing wigs. You look good, sis. Why are you calling him sis? Like, there's a difference. There's a difference between something where you support it, right? You support gay people, right? Cool. That's what you want to support. But then you go and you say something crazy like, yeah, sis, you look good, girl. This is a boy.
Exactly.
If you want to say he looks nice or I like his makeup, that's one thing. But then you go and you say, you look good, sis.
Yeah.
Are we crazy?
No.
That is a boy.
You're not finna make me change my eyes and say I don't see what I see in front of my eyes. I see a grown man with a beard. He a man.
There's one TikToker who goes sayings all the time. It's a white man, and he always goes to his restaurant. The waitresses come and they be like, "Hey sir, how can I help you?" I am a woman. And they be like, and he start crying. He be like, they misgendered me again. And this is his whole content. I don't know if this is a skit or what, but it's insane. Like, this is the reality of people's lives. You see people who are functioning in this world in a supported dystopia.
Well, this is what happens when you don't got God. The pure point blank. That's what it is. You get down to the point. This is what happens when you don't got God and you just sit there and do whatever you want to do because you think you got the answers. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
It's simple.
You think you got all the answers. You think you are the creator, the alpha, the omega, and the judge. So you do whatever you want and everybody got to accept what you want, not what is created for us purposely. You didn't create the world, so what makes you think you have the rules?
Mm-hmm. And what makes you think that you have the right to correct something when it's based in a factual evidence?
Exactly.
Like, why would I have to apologize and make a public
announcement,
a public apology for saying something that is completely factual?
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all really have to touch grass, and I mean that in the way of y'all got to get in that Bible.
Mm-hmm. Y'all got nothing colder than the Bible.
Y'all got to get in that Bible until you feel yourself break.
Yep.
And people think that that's a bad thing. No,
even
God,
if it's scary.
Yeah, because God breaks you to make you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you feel that you're holding on by a thread, if you feel as though you don't want to be here, if you feel all of these emotions and dysphoria and depression and anxiety, I'm telling you, they are labeling things in ways that try to distract you from the fact that you are going through a spiritual attack.
Exactly.
You are being attacked spiritually because your spirit is connected to your creator. And inevitably, you feel the negative, evil environment impacting you emotionally, physically, spiritually, etc.
Yeah, and if we don't say something now before it's too late, what's going to happen is me sitting here as a man married to my wife that's a woman. What's going to happen if we don't stand up and say something? She's going to be biologically a woman married to biologically a man, and they're going to say she the husband and he the wife. That's what they're going to start saying. They're going to start saying biologically the women, y'all are now husbands, and the husbands, y'all are now wives. That's what they're gonna start doing.
And then the roles will reverse.
And they're gonna start flipping, and then women gonna start going to work, stop having babies, and they're gonna stop trying to populate us, and they're gonna try to get rid of us. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of demonic, demented stuff. So stand up before it's too late, because men, you are men, and women, you are women. And period, point blank.
And Christians, you are the salt of the earth. And as you watch this world around you decay, and you see it break down, and you see the signs, and you see the spiritual attacks, and you say nothing, blood is on your hands. You have to speak up for what you know, because knowledge is everything. Yep. And until you start spreading knowledge, like people say, oh, that's not facts and y'all sound dumb, If it didn't hit you, it wasn't for you.
Yep.
But if it hit you and you felt it and you heard it, make sure you give this video a like. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And read that Bible.
Read your Bible. Get your life in order. Find God. Find Jesus. DM us if you have any questions. And we will see you guys in the next one.
And read that Bible.